Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back into the Six Hockey Studios. Jaden Ho alongside our analyst, Jared Rotenberg, getting you set for some more great GTHL hockey action. It's the Rebels and the Marlboros facing off at Westwood Arena this afternoon. What are you looking for in this game, Jared?
And folks, you guys are primed here for a battle of the two heavyweights of the entirety of the GTHL. If you look over at the standings, sitting right, shining at the top, is the Toronto Marlboros, a fantastic team with so many offensive weapons and defensive weapons of their own. But don't discredit the Mississauga Rebels, who are sitting just a few standing spots behind them with a boatload of offensive threats of their own. This is sure to be a battle of the two greatest teams in the GTHL.
And two great teams, and they both have great goaltenders. Let's get into the goalie matchup a little bit here. You got Daniel Giusti on one end, Crosby DaCosta on the other. What do you have to say about these two netminders?
Both are fantastic goalies in the GTHL right now. Crosby DaCosta, sitting just above 6 feet tall, isn't the biggest goalie in the world, but he knows how to get to the open areas. He knows how to get through traffic. He always knows how to find the pucks in the slot and make the big save when necessary. One of the most clutch goalies in the entire league this season. But don't discredit Daniel Giusti as well, who's a fantastic, somewhat undersized goalie, but by watching him play, you just simply wouldn't know it. He's always so good at moving, finding that open space. He's a quick movement goaltender and is one of the greatest goalies that this league has to offer.
And when you've got two great goaltenders like that, you're obviously thinking this might be a low-scoring game, maybe 1-0, maybe 2-1. But the shooters on either team are not going to want that. You've got some terrific offensive talent on either side as well.
Absolutely. I mean, looking over at the Mississauga Rebels, it's hard to ignore one of the shining stars of the league right now, Ethan Chatta. He's a player who's currently projected by most scouts to be around a top 10 pick in this upcoming OHL draft, and by watching him play, it's easy to understand why. He's a centerman, he's a face-off taker, and he's an unreal one at that. But once he has the puck on his stick, he is dangerous. He is a fantastic shot. He has fantastic skating ability. His puck handling is second to none. He's a dangerous threat every time he steps on the ice. But don't forget about his line mate either, Michael Deck, who's just as strong on the playmaking end of the ice. He's a quick skater, an amazing puck mover, and he has a nose for the net, always finding a way to crash the net, getting the goalie's grill, finding ways to put pucks in the back of the net.
And on the other side, there's some great offensive weapons on the Toronto Marlboros as well, who'll be trying to go punch for punch with those Rebels stars.
Absolutely. There's going to be a bunch of players on this team, but the main name that you have to sprinkle in gold writing, Lev Katzin, an unbelievable playmaker. He's a fantastic player, but also don't discredit his ability on the defensive end of the ice. A great two-way forward, great offensively, great defensively, great at skating, and he's for sure a guy I'd be looking at on the Toronto Marlboros side to shut down the superstars that the Mississauga Rebels possess.
Well, two great talented teams, great goaltending, great offense. This should be an absolute battle. The Rebels and the Marlboros up next from the Six Hockey. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in to Westwood Arena. Jaden Ho with Jared Rotenberg. You're watching GTHL hockey from the Six Hockey. We're got a great matchup tonight. The Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels, two great teams, Jared.
Two fantastic teams right up there sitting at the top of the GTHL standings. This will be a battle of heavyweights here today, folks. And the team that comes out as the victor will have to fight for their lives in order to do so. Two fantastic teams with fantastic stars littered throughout their entirety of their lineups, as well as some great goaltenders on both sides. This one sure is to be a bloodbath here today, and I'm very excited to get this one underway.
Starting goaltenders, Crosby DaCosta for the Toronto Marlboros and Daniel Giusti for the Mississauga Rebels as we get you ready for the opening face-off just moments away here. As we get set, Kieran Witowski taking the face-off for the Marlboros, who are on the left. And the Rebels to the right. They win it back into their own zone, and we're away here from Westwood Arena. All the way down it's sent. Chasing it after it is Michael Tissier. Back behind the net, Smith tries to play it up the boards. Marlboros trying to escape their zone, and they will here. Up through the neutral zone, and there's a shot and an early save from Daniel Giusti on Jeremy Martin.
It was a fantastic shot from Jeremy Martin, but in general, Daniel Giusti comes up big early on with a fantastic save, and it's going to be his great play that'll be huge for the Rebels in hopes of keeping themselves in this game, facing off against a fantastic Marlboros team.
Puck went back to Drajewska. Drajewska turns away from the check. And now it's down low into the corner. Back behind the goal. Big hit on the end boards. Puck comes to the opposite side. Digging for it down low, and that's sent in behind the net again. Moore's in there after it. Out with it. Through the neutral zone come the Rebels. Onto the near side. Pass into the center! And that just dribbled wide. Rebels trying to get it out past Smith. He turns them back, and now both teams are going to make some changes. Up towards the neutral zone. Carterin was turned back. And now it's played back by Leighton Lynn. Over the line and offside are the Rebels.
Now, early on, it has been the Toronto Marlboros that have maintained most of the puck possession here. The Rebels haven't exactly gotten a chance to get set up in the offensive zone and gotten any shots on the opposing goaltender, Crosby DaCosta. I'll really be looking for them to step up here because they do have their fair share of stars that haven't really gotten to work yet so far in this hockey game.
Still early goings as the Marlboros start up on the rush. It's tipped into the offensive zone. Chasing in after here is Lane. Lane goes to the corner. But the Rebels recover. They can't clear. Another chance. And they'll try the other side. Up along the right wing, and now through the neutral zone they come. Deep in the Marlboros end. Behind the net they go. Turning and sending that in deep there was Delisle. Back in behind the goal again. Delisle's in there after it. Delisle with it. Still trying to dig it free now, and it comes loose. And it'll be cleared out by Aiden Lane. Sends it to the opposite side. Chasing in after is Joe. Sharp angle shot, and that's deflected into the corner. Rebound comes behind the net now. Rebels will get a chance to clear, but it's held in at the line, and a long shot stopped and held. And Giusti will get a whistle.
It was a fantastic save there by Giusti, but I just want to rewind back to that amazing puck-moving ability from Tristan Delisle, who had a fantastic play there, skating in the zone, holding onto that puck, maintaining his puck possession. That's an incredibly skilled skater, an incredibly skilled puck handler, and he just nearly got the first opportunity of the game for these Mississauga Rebels.
Face off to come here to the right of Daniel Giusti. Starting lines back out again as Kieran Witowski in to take the face-off for the Marlboros. A little bit of discussion going on as teams try to figure out the proper time, I think. This penalty box is open as discussions perhaps with the scorekeeper. And the teams are going to take this opportunity to set up their strategy. And what do you think the Marlboros are looking to do here, Jared?
The Marlboros are looking to simply contain the opposing player. I'd argue the best player on the ice, Ethan Chata. They need to continue to maintain this offensive possession, and that's really what they're going to be looking to do here, starting with this shift.
And as the puck's down into the Marlboros end again, they'll try to start up on the rush. Tipped ahead in the neutral zone there by Martin. Rebels recover, and they'll clear the zone. Tipped in deep, no icing here. Back behind the net to play it is DiCarlo. DiCarlo starts the rush, sends it all the way across to the opposite side. That's tipped in deep, but not quite enough. And that's icing against the Marlboros.
And now, it will be the Mississauga Rebels getting set up here in this offensive zone, and this could be a big opportunity. They haven't really tested Crosby DaCosta much at all throughout this game, but now we have Ethan Chata taking the face-off here, a superstar in this league, a top prospect of the OHL next year, and let's see what he can do here.
Chata lost the face-off, and the Marlboros will clear the zone, only for a moment, as it's sent right back in, and in on the forecheck is Abu Ali. Long shot from the point by Secco, that was wide. And now it's sent right back around. Battle for it down low. Two Marlboros in there against Chata, and they'll get it free. Trying to clear it there with Smith. Can't get it through the forechecking Rebels. Long shot from the point, and that deflects up and into the corner. On the other side now, Secco sends it around the boards again. Held in at the line. And they'll battle for it once again. Marlboros can't get it free, and they can't clear the zone. Back into the corner. Back up to the line. Secco holds it just for a moment, and now he sends it right back in deep. Onto the other side. Marlboros hemmed a little bit here as they'll clear the zone. Over the line come the Marlboros now on the counterattack, and there's a quick shot stopped and held again by Daniel Giusti.
Now, what a shift there from Mississauga Rebels defenseman Kyle Secco. He held the line there when the puck was maintained into the offensive zone, consistently got to that puck, blasted a shot on net, and then on the opposite end of the ice, he hustled down, protecting that shooter, blocking him and protecting his goaltender. A fantastic defensive play from a fantastic defenseman.
Eden Lane chips it in deep, and that's right on goal, and Daniel Giusti will hang on again as he had another Marlboros forward rushing onto him.
Absolutely, and another great save from another goaltender that hasn't necessarily gotten any grade A opportunities yet early on in this game, but he still has stopped the ones that he's had to.
Puck comes to the line here. It's held in by Sabatini. Digging for it, and it comes free again. Sent down into the corner. Lane in after it. Lane battled for it down low, and then he reverses it back towards the line. Up top, sent into the middle of the ice, and it comes to the opposite side now. Around the boards once again. Down low and behind the goal. Marlboros trying to push, and there's a wraparound try. And that's going to bounce right out into the slot, and the Rebels will clear. Chipped in deep here, back behind the net, chasing after it, Sabatini. Along the near side boards, Lane tried to clear, and he did, and that'll be offside as it was fired right back in by Filippone.
The Toronto Marlboros are absolutely, for a lot of this game, have been getting a ton of chances on opposing goaltender Daniel Giusti. As I mentioned earlier, not necessarily the greatest opportunities, but they're still getting a lot of pucks on net here, and I'll look for the Mississauga Rebels to really test the opposing goaltender on the other end, who hasn't really faced as many shots, and therefore could be out of his game slightly.
Puck played into the neutral zone, and now the Rebels are on the forecheck. Going back to recover his Turnbull. Turnbull up the far side boards, and the Marlboros are into the neutral zone with a rush, and there's a quick shot. Stopped, rebound, was loose for a moment, but Giusti cleans up and hangs on.
That one was a great shot, just skating into the slot there from Toronto Marlboros forward there, ripping the puck, but a fantastic save from Mississauga Rebels goaltender Daniel Giusti, and those are the kind of stops that'll keep a game deadlocked at zeros.
Witowski taking the face off again, and he wins it back towards Turnbull, but it's cleared out. Turnbull chasing back after it, sends it on to his defensive partner. Moore stepping in there in support, and he clears the zone. Rebels trying to get right back in, though. Tipped ahead there by Morin. Up ahead, and that's out of the reach of Moore, so the Rebels will retain possession once again. Near side, chipped up along the near side boards, and that's going to be an icing call against the Mississauga Rebels.
Now we're going to be heading back over into the Mississauga Rebels zone, the Toronto Marlboros offensive zone, and let's see if they can get set up here once again, get more shots on this goaltender who has been peppered with shots early on in this hockey game, and see if they can finally get on the board.
Lev Katzen took the draw for the Marlboros, lost it, and now it's going to be carried out, but it's turned over, and there's a quick shot right on, and that deflects to the corner. Rebels get another chance to clear here, and this time they do. It's Chada chipping it in deep. And after it is Gabriel Smith. He's under some pressure from the forechecking Rebels. And they'll turn it over. Here's a chance in front of the goal! As turned aside there, Michael Deck with a glorious opportunity in front of the goal.
Fantastic opportunity there, and that's the kind of deceptive shots you're going to need to break a goaltender that hasn't really gotten a chance to get tested much in this hockey game. He wasn't set up there, but a quick shot is exactly how you're going to give this guy a chance to get on the board.
Now back behind the goal, centering pass! And another great save from DaCosta. Back along the end boards, Lane can't clear it out. He'll get another chance here, but once again, he's turned back as Michael Deck aggressive on the forecheck here. Rebels start to make a change. And the Marlboros will try to take advantage as it's cleared out by Gabriel Smith. All the way down into the Rebel zone. Icing waved off. And now it's up along the far side. And the Marlboros recover in their own end. Up along the right wing boards, and that's going to be all the way down. And icing called against Toronto.
Once again, back over into the offensive zone for these Mississauga Rebels who just came off of a glorious opportunity moments ago. And now let's see what they could do again. Crosby DaCosta made his first major save of the night, his best save of the night easily. But they'll have to continue here with peppering shots on this goaltender in hopes of finally getting on the board.
Face-off won by the Marlboros, and they'll advance it up into the neutral zone. Onto the near side here. Carried ahead by Jeremy Martin. Martin into the corner. Lost control of the puck, and it's out into the neutral zone. Here come the Rebels. Turning back, there's a centering pass. A chance in front of the goal, and that's deflected up and into the netting. A good setup there from Leighton Lynn.
Absolutely, Lynn with a fantastic setup there and just a fantastic shot on Crosby DaCosta once again, whereas the Mississauga Rebels certainly started off this game with getting way less opportunities than the opposing team. They've certainly woke up here. They're getting a lot of chances on Crosby DaCosta, and it's only a matter of time if they continue to play like this.
Delisle won the puck back, long shot from the point, didn't get through to the net. Bouncing around, and now it's behind the goal. Back up top here for Secco. Secco sends it across, and it bounced behind the defender. Maybe an odd man rush developing here for the Marlboros. In they come, and a good defensive recovery there, as the Marlboros may have had a chance. And now a chance the other way. Here come the Rebels. A shot! Stopped by Crosby DaCosta on the 2-on-0.
A fantastic save from Crosby DaCosta, but that play isn't even happening if it isn't for the amazing play by defenseman Kyle Secco, getting back on defense right away, stealing that puck and sending it right up for the breakout pass. A fantastic play, turning defense into offense for Secco with the greatest chance of the night for the Mississauga Rebels.
Back behind the net it comes, and it's going to bounce out and over the glass, so we'll get another whistle and a face-off in the Toronto end.
You got to give credit to these Mississauga Rebels for the way they have woken up here. I imagine the coach wasn't too pleased with their first few minutes of this hockey game, but now that we're about the halfway point in the first period, they've certainly taken over as the stronger team who has had their fair share of chances.
Back behind the net now. Rebels in on that forecheck once again, trying to gain possession here. Battle along the end boards. Still digging for it. It comes free towards the line. And it's held in, if only for a moment, as now it's cleared to Aiden Lane. Lane trying to slip past the check there of Majacevich. In behind the net now, the Marlboros come with it. Up to the line. Long shot, and that's stopped and held on the shot from Drjuska.
What a fantastic shot from Luke Drjuska. It was an amazing shot, just picking up the puck at that blue line, blasting it on the opposing goaltender, Daniel Giusti. And that's one that he wasn't really set up for. There was a lot of traffic in front of him, making his job difficult, and that's how you're going to beat a goaltender who's so dialed in, as is Daniel Giusti.
Witowski on the face-off. Won by the Rebels, but they can't clear the zone quite yet. Comes to the opposite side now. And there's a long shot from the point, deflected right on. Comes to the opposite corner now. Through the neutral zone. Here come the Rebels. Over the line. And the centering passes, and that's deflected away into the corner. Still loose in the slot, and the Marlboros will clear it up the boards to Martin. Martin advanced that ahead for Witowski, who fired it just wide. And that was actually gloved and held by Daniel Giusti.
A fantastic glove save. The Toronto Marlboros rushing in there with an amazing shot, one of their best shots of the night. But it's Daniel Giusti's glove side that has been impeccable so far. He stopped that with ease, made it look easy. And that's the kind of saves you need from a goaltender in this game when the Marlboros have been peppering shots left, right, and center.
Face-off was won by the Rebels, and they'll clear it. And that bounced up and out of play. Looked like it was off the glass, so no delay of game call coming here.
And now we return here into the offensive zone for these Toronto Marlboros, who have been great, have gone a little bit quiet in the last few minutes, but in general, after a strong first period start, they're once again now trying to maintain the zone, but ultimately, the Mississauga Rebels send it out.
Delelche back behind the net to play it as he tries to get the Marlboros started up on the rush. On the far side. Tipped into the Rebels zone. Recovering it there is Secco. And he clears it away. Marlboros trying to go right back on the attack here. Chasing in after it is Carterin. Carterin with Lane. The Rebels, will clear it out through the neutral zone once again. Carried out. And there's going to be a penalty drawn here. As skating in over the offensive blue line was Braden Van Gelder, and he was taken down. and we'll get the first power play of this hockey game.
This is a fantastic opportunity for the Mississauga Rebels to find themselves with a lead in this hockey game. Of course, a slow start. They've dominated the latter half of this first period, however, and now they're finally getting rewarded for their efforts with a chance on the man advantage, and let's see if they can make good on this opportunity.
Face off, one back by the Marlboros, but in after it on the forecheck was Lynn. Now comes to the line. Filippone sends that in deep. Back up top, Filippone. Onto the far side and down into the far corner. Back up to the point. Across, Filippone. Filippone. Back to the top, and there's a long shot deflected and held as Crosby DaCosta had to be sharp there.
These Toronto Marlboros are doing a great job of clogging up the slot. They are really preventing any open space from preventing any open space for the Mississauga Rebels to shoot at, really protecting their goaltender and playing great defensively. It was Matthew Filippone who picked up that puck at the blue line, wanting to shoot in on the net, but unfortunately there wasn't really an open angle there, just due to the great defensive play from these Toronto Marlboros.
A little bit of a delay on the face-off here, but now it's one back by the Marlboros. Once again, Rebels in on the forecheck and they win the puck. But this time it'll be cleared out quickly, as racing back after it, here's Lynn. Up come the Rebels now, trying to get going on this power play. Over the line they come. And now it's in near the circles and it's picked up. Around the net they come. Back up towards the line. Out with it come the Marlboros, and maybe a rush developing here, but it's picked right back up. And the Rebels will start over. Sent ahead for Delisle. Delisle over the line. Stops up. Sends it up to the top of the circle. Now at the point. Long shot! And that was blocked by Aiden Lane. And he'll clear it out into center. So a solid penalty kill shift so far for the Marlboros. Sent in deep here. Curtis Freeman will pick it up on the other side. Secco stepping in deep to support. Puck comes loose. Freeman around into the corner here. Down low, sent up to the top of the zone. Secco couldn't hold the zone, and now it's going to be chipped all the way down into the Rebels' end. Back after it here is Turner. Turner slowing it down behind the net. Lost the puck behind the net, and he'll have to reset here. Turner's under a lot of pressure. Can't get this breakout started. Finally, it's chipped in deep to the Marlboro zone, and it'll be stopped and held by Crosby DaCosta.
With fantastic play on this penalty kill for the Toronto Marlboros, they really haven't allowed the Mississauga Rebels to get a lot of opportunities on their goaltender. We'll see here now that we're returning to even strength what could happen here, because on that penalty kill, they really shut things down, prevented any offensive opportunities.
Puck sent it deep by Secco, and now there's battle for it down low. Freeman's in there, and he'll hold the zone. Sent right back behind the net now. Out come the Marlboros, and it's chipped right back in again. Freeman in the corner, centered it, and that deflected off a stick and back into the corner, and the Marlboros will escape with it now. Long pass across. Through the neutral zone they come, and just a step ahead there was William Moore. It's an offside.
Now, with that fantastic penalty kill from the Toronto Marlboros, I'll be really interested to see here if that fantastic penalty kill will get to their legs at all and help them produce any offense at all. Now they're going to try to enter the offensive zone here with a face-off right at the moment outside of the zone. Let's see what they could do here.
Aiden Lane trying to drive the net there, lost control of the puck. And now it's sent in deep by Abu Ali. Fired that right on goal, and Crosby DaCosta makes the stop.
Listen, that was an interesting shot just because it was taken right as soon as the player crossed that blue line. But at the same time, that's a fantastic opportunity to simply try to catch Crosby DaCosta off guard with a shot that certainly he wasn't set up and ready for.
Delisle trying to take the face off here. And it's won back by the Marlboros. Back behind the net for it. DiCarlo sends it up the boards and out. Lane chasing after it in the offensive zone now, but it's picked up by Michevich. Midget under pressure behind the net. Comes out for Lane. Lane tries to send it up top for Turnbull. He lost a race for the puck here. Turnbull trying to get to it first. Taken away, and there's a shot fired wide. Across now. Long shot again turned aside by Crosby DaCosta. Back behind the net of the Rebels. Puck loose at the side of the goal. Back into the corner it comes. Up to the line. Sent across here. Haslam fired that on. And it's turned aside again. Now the Marlboros escape with it. 1-on-3. Goes Joe, and he'll chip it in deep. Out to the line it comes. Into the zone again come the Marlboros. But it'll be cleared out. Sent across. Fired ahead by DiCarlo. Turned over in the neutral zone. Through, here comes Tissier. Pass across, and that just bounced off the stick of Deck. Deck battling for it in the corner now. Regains possession, but it's taken away. Cleared to the line, not out. Back into the corner. Chipped up the boards, and this time the Marlboros will get out with it as it's picked up by Jeremy Martin. Martin shoots, and that deflected high. Rebound comes to the other side for Witowski. And he can't get a hold of it, so now the Rebels coming the other way, trying to step into the middle with a shot. Rebound came loose, and that was fired high and wide by Michael Deck. And jumping out to grab the rebound here is DaCosta.
A fantastic save there from Crosby DaCosta, but it's these Mississauga Rebels that are repeatedly getting multiple opportunities on this opposing goaltender. They've really done a great job of maintaining the offensive zone here with chance after chance, and if they continue playing like this, it is only a matter of time before they finally crack this goaltender who has been stellar so far.
There was a centering pass and a quick shot that DaCosta turned aside. Got out to the line, but not through to the neutral zone. Now the Marlboros do get it through. Up ahead. Here's Witowski back behind the goal. Battling for it in the corner. And it comes loose. Rebels out with it. Over the line. Here comes Moran. Moran on the near side. Centering pass. And that didn't get through the rebound. They score! The setup from Maxime Moran. Bounced to the right spot. And it's buried for the 1-0 Mississauga lead.
What a fantastic play from these Mississauga Rebels. Maxime Moran setting that puck on net. Tipped in by a teammate there, but that play does not start if it isn't for the fantastic defensive play of Kyle Secco, laying a big-time hit in the defensive zone, stealing the puck and sending it up for his teammates. Defense to offense, exactly how the hockey gods would have wanted it. A fantastic play, and now the Rebels have a 1-0 lead to show for it.
And they'll keep this line out for the face-off to try and double down here in this opening frame. A little bit of a delay here and some discussion as the goal scorer, GTHL, is waved out of the face-off dot. Marlboros win it, and they'll try to get on the counterattack quickly here. Onto the other side, a collision in the corner as Joe tried to step into it. And now it's down into the corner. Lane is there. And now it's sent up towards the line, turning back. Driving towards the goal, and whistle goes. As we'll get a stoppage here.
Now these Toronto Marlboros have to be really disappointed with themselves. They surely started off this game as the better team. Well, now they're going to get an opportunity on the power play. This could be major for them because, as I was going to mention, they started off the game strong but have really been shut down in this latter half of the period. Now with the man advantage, let's see if they could finally return to the great play they had earlier in this game.
And they've won the draw here, slowly at the line, sent to the far side, down to the corner, and the rebound came to the other side, and Lane jammed at it but couldn't get it to go. Cleared all the way back now, and chasing back after it is Turnbull. DiCarlo with them, as is Witowski, as they start up on the rush. Here's Witowski on the far side. Witowski dodges a check, and he carries it in deep. Comes to the line here. Turnbull with a long shot, and that's deflected right on, and Juicy hangs on to it.
Juicy with another fantastic save, but for these Toronto Marlboros, early on in the first few moments of this power play, they really haven't been able to get set up whatsoever with a great clear from the Mississauga Rebels. I'll look for them here to finally get set up in this offensive zone and make good on this opportunity.
And they've won the face-off here. It's back to DiCarlo, and now Turnbull. DiCarlo, back to Turnbull. DiCarlo again, one-timer, and that just missed the net. Back behind the net for it, Lane. Couldn't get it free, and it's going to be chipped out by the Rebels here. DeCarlo picks it up, and as time runs out in this first period, we'll go to the second. Marlboros on the man advantage, but the Rebels up 1-0.
That was a fantastic period of hockey. High intensity, great saves from both sides of the ice. But ultimately, after somewhat of a slow start, it is the Mississauga Rebels who really stepped up defensively, and that great defensive play ended up turning into offensive chances, and they have a 1-0 lead to show for it. That was a great, resilient period from the Mississauga Rebels, who certainly were not happy with the way they started off this period. But by the end, they're the team that's walking into this dressing room carrying the 1-0 lead.
And such an important period from both of the goaltenders, making some big saves. And we'll have to see if they can hang on to that, especially with the Marlboros on this power play. They've still got a little over a minute remaining in it, and they'll want to challenge Daniel Giusti here if they want to get back into this hockey game early in the second.
Absolutely, and what they'll need to do is simply get bodies in front of him. This guy's a fantastic goalie. He's so agile, but he isn't the tallest goaltender, and if you get bodies in front of him, he will surely have trouble seeing that puck. That's exactly how you beat a goaltender of this stature and get yourself back into this hockey game. Lots of pucks on net, lots of bodies in front, take away his eyes, give him traffic, and you'll find yourself with a lead.
David GTHL has the only goal so far in this hockey game, as we are just about ready to go in the second period. 1-0 for the Mississauga Rebels over the Toronto Marlboros here from Westwood Arena. You're watching GTHL hockey from the 6 hockey. Jared Rotenberg and Jaden Ho with you here from Westwood Arena. Marlboros on the power play to start this middle frame. Kieran Witowski to take the face-off. And on the face-off, it's won back by the Rebels. Circling back with it here is Secco. Secco, he's under a lot of pressure there. And it's won back towards the line by the Marlboros, and they'll try to get set up here. Around to the opposite side, Lane. On the opposite side, Turnbull now. Can't hold the zone. Or he does hold the zone, sorry, and it's a battle for it along the boards. Down into the corner it goes. Cleared. Out and not through to the neutral zone. Back into the corner. Here's Lane. Lane digging for it under a lot of pressure. Still battling for it down low. Comes towards the top of the zone. Turning with it is Sabatini. Sabatini. Still with it. Sends it out in front! And that was tipped just wide. Witowski. Down below the goal line. Into the corner it goes. Still digging for it. Time running out in this power play. And the Marlboros regain possession. Sent to the point. Turn ball. There's a sharp angle shot, and that deflects up and into the netting as time has run out on this power play.
Now, for the Toronto Marlboros, they did a great job getting set up in the offensive zone on that power play. But one critique there, they didn't really test the opposing goaltender, Daniel Giusti. Of course, they had a great shot there in the final seconds, in the fleeting seconds of that power play. But all power play long, they're overpassing the puck, getting too fancy. You gotta test the goaltender if you want to end up on the scoreboard.
Battle down low. On the end boards, Marlboros trying to come away with it here as Lane tries to send it up towards the line. Back down low again. Marlboros trying to push the momentum from that power play. Back up to the point. Long shot that deflects down low. Back behind the net, trying to come out in front with it. On the far side board, sent across, and that bounced off the stick of Smith. Smith, he's in deep. And he sends it to the point, and there's a long shot that deflects into the corner once again. Rebels trying to get out here. Lane on the forecheck. And the whistle's going to go here. So we'll get another face-off.
And it looks like we'll be returning right outside. There's a line change there, but we'll be staying within the offensive zone for these Toronto Marlboros. A big opportunity for them to finally get themselves on the board. They've had a lot of zone time early on in the second period, of course highlighted by that power play, but they haven't really tested the goaltender just yet. We'll see what they could do here.
Down low it comes, but it's turned over by the Marlboros and chipped out along the far side boards. All the way down into the Marlboro zone, not quite enough for icing. So now the Rebels, establish possession in the offensive end. Into the corner. Still a battle for it down low. Comes to the point. Turner shoots! And that didn't get through to the net, and the rebound is grabbed and held by Daniel Giusti.
Daniel Giusti just not really tested there. A flick shot from the blue line isn't how you're going to crack this goaltender. You need to make his job more difficult than that. That was simply, I mean, he made the save. He made the glove save, but not exactly a real test of the goaltender, just flicking it in from the blue line.
Puck down low and sent around the boards. Moore tips it ahead. And now Carterin will chase it into the offensive zone. A long stretch pass ahead. Maybe an odd man rush developing here, but a good defensive recovery from the Marlboros to shut that one down. Sent down low now. Into the corner. Up towards the blue line. And out with it come the Marlboros. Through the neutral zone. They've got numbers. Centering pass. Tipped right on. And deflects to the corner. Sent back up to the point, and there's a shot. That's stopped and held on the point shot from Sebastian Delelche.
That was a fantastic shot from the point. Daniel Giusti was not down and set up there. He had to jump up to make that save. Of course, he ended up making the save. A fantastic goaltender, but nonetheless, a fantastic test of a goaltender who very evidently wasn't set up there on that play.
Face off, one back by the Rebels. Joe trying to hold the zone. He can't do it. Now the Rebels are out. 3-on-2. And over the line. Here's Lynn. Sends it towards the front of the goal. Rebound to the side of the net. And it's cleared out by the Marlboros. Around it goes again here. Sabatini trying to get this clear. Long shot from the point. Goes well wide. Opposite side now. Rebels trying to hold the zone here. Marlboros trying to get it out as Joe lost it. Chance in front of the net. Bouncing puck. Loose. And it's cleared to the side of the goal, but we're going to get a penalty call here against Toronto.
Now that's really unfortunate for Toronto. They just got mere inches away from tying up this game, and now ultimately they're going to be shorthanded to show for it. They got very close to getting themselves on this board, and now they're going to be shorthanded.
A big penalty kill here in the second period on that tripping call. Face-off will come to the right of Crosby DaCosta. Scramble on the face-off. It's one back to the line. Controlling it here is Lynn. Lynn down low. In behind the goal now comes out to the near side for Delisle. Held in at the line by Lynn. Lynn lost the puck and it's going to trickle all the way back into the Rebels zone. Good aggressive forecheck there from the penalty-killing Marlboros, but the Rebels escape with it. Delisle sends it up for Lynn. Back down low, Delisle. Battle for it on the near side. Turning with it here and stepping out to the front of the net. Sent up to the opposite point. Cross-ice pass intended for Delisle. Deflects away, and now he has got to chase it back. Delisle turns towards the corner. Delisle sends that across. Up top. Lynn tried to get it to Delisle. Stick broke that up. Puck still loose, and as it's touched up at the line, we'll get another whistle as perhaps knocked down by a high stick.
That was fantastic defensive play from the Toronto Marlboros there on that penalty kill opportunity, simply preventing the Mississauga Rebels from getting a clean shot up. As a result, they had to overpass that puck, try to find open space that the Marlboros just simply were not handing out to them. A great penalty kill early on for these Marlboros.
Marlboros win the face-off, and they'll clear it out right away. And maybe a chance on the opposite side as Martin trying to drive towards the net shorthanded. Now he's got control of the puck, turns and shoots. And that's deflected up and into the netting.
Now it appears that these Marlboros are not only just satisfied with killing off this penalty kill, they're trying to also produce some offense here, skating the puck in. And now on this shorthanded opportunity, they will be setting up in the offensive zone. Let's see if they could do anything offensively here.
Witowski on the face-off. Lost it, and it's down into the corner. Rebels, trying to get started and get their power play going here. Through the neutral zone they come. Around the boards. Freeman chasing in after it. But DaCosta stopped it. Now Freeman has it behind the goal. Freeman hanging on to it. Sent across for Morant. near side, and then back up top for Morant. Down into the corner, a centering pass, bouncing puck, loose in the slot, and it's going to trickle to the opposite corner. The line held in for a moment, and right back into the corner it goes. Across, Morant winds, shoots, and that deflects to the opposite side. Chipped in deep by Turner. Back to 5-on-5 action here as the Marlboros get out and into the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. There's a shot, deflected wide. Long shot again, didn't get to the net. And slowing it down behind the net here is Freeman. Up to the near side corner. Tipped up and into the offensive zone by the Rebels. And back behind the net to play it is Gabriel Smith. Up into the neutral zone, chipped in deep, stopping it behind the net, DaCosta. Smith, up the boards, not out of the zone, and the Rebels go right back to the attack here. Up and over the red line, here comes Joe. Joe carries it around the net now. Joe back onto it, and now it's chipped down into the corner. Lane. Sent up to the point now. Long shot, and that's blocked, and maybe a chance coming the opposite way. Here come the Rebels, and a long shot will be turned aside there by DaCosta. Rebound came to the other side, and Smith blocked that shot. Drajuska battling for it down low, and he gets it out. Puck's fired into the offensive zone by the Marlboros, but the Rebels pick it up, and they'll start on the offensive. Pass intercepted in the neutral zone there by Katzen. Katzen over the line. Here's Lane. He shoots. And that just went wide. Joe hunting for a rebound there. Sent it deep by Turnbull. Joe in after it. Lane's down there as well. Lane back behind the net digging for it. Comes out. Turnbull with a shot. Stopped. Rebound loose to the side of the goal. And it comes to the corner. Lane tried to send it out in front. Joe jamming at it. And this time, Daniel Giusti will hang on.
Daniel Giusti, how are you doing? What a fantastic save when all hope seemed lost. All pressure was put on there from the Toronto Marlboros, getting chance after chance, but the goaltender came up strong as he's been doing all night long. Fantastic save from a fantastic goaltender.
Witowski to take the draw. He's got Carter on with him. And the Rebels win it back. Cleared to the line, held in for the moment by DiCarlo, but now it's coming out the other way. Maybe an odd man rush here. Stumbling there was Deck as he tried to get it to the net, and it comes to the opposite side. Through the neutral zone, the Marlboros get it in deep, but it's quickly out again by the Rebels. Good back and forth play here. Digging for that puck was Jeremy Martin, couldn't get it loose. Lane chasing in after it. And it's on the opposite side now. Up into the neutral zone go the Rebels. Sent in deep there by Carterin. And Turnbull thought about pinching in for it, but he turned back. Sent across there by Deck. Long slap shot, and that's deflected high and wide. Chipped in deep there by Tissier. Through the neutral zone, here come the Marlboros. They've got numbers. Here's Carterin. Centering pass, the shot! And Aiden Lane turned aside from point-blank range.
And they're getting lots of chances on both sides of this ice. But as of now in this second period, no goalie has been able to be beaten so far. Chance after chance on both ends of the ice, but both Giusti and DaCosta have came up big with saves of their own. Now it'll be the Marlboros returning into the offensive zone, and let's see what they could do here on this big opportunity to finally get themselves on this scoreboard.
Katzen taking the draw for the Marlboros. He wins it back. Lane, and that just deflects all the way back into the Marlboro zone. Went a little bit too cleanly. Smith sent it up into the middle of the ice. Lane dropped it back. Ahead for Joe, dodging a check, but then he lost the puck, and it's sent in deep by DeChâtelet. On the near side, off the boards, and sent across there. Van Gelder in deep to the Marlboro zone. Around the boards it goes. Onto the opposite side now. Held into the line, and there's a long shot, and that deflects in behind the net and out of play. So another whistle and a face-off in the Marlboros end.
Now, this could be a big opportunity for these Mississauga Rebels who haven't really gotten a ton of chances in this second period. And a player that I'm really looking at to pick up their play here in this second period would, of course, be Ethan Chatta, one of the most skilled players on the ice surface in this hockey game, but hasn't really been crazy noticeable tonight in this game. I'm looking for players such as him on these Mississauga Rebels to step up in order to help to extend this 1-0 lead right here in this hockey game.
There's a sharp angle shot, and that deflects to the corner. Back behind the net. To the point, another long shot. Puck bouncing around, rebound loose, they score! It's a 2-0 lead. Kyle Secco buries the rebound to double down for the Mississauga Rebels.
Kyle Secco, have yourself a night. Fantastic plays offensively, fantastic plays defensively. This defenseman is so involved in the offensive ability of this team.
And that's Michael Tissier's goal. My apologies. Couldn't see the number there. He steps in on that rebound to bury the puck and make this a 2-0 hockey game. Onto the far side. Sent in ahead. Marlboros trying to get themselves on the board here. They trail 2-0 after Michael Tissier's goal. Hardeman's trying to stay on side there. He couldn't do it. Lost his footing. And now the Rebels are up with it. Up come the Rebels. Through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Sent towards the front of the net. Bouncing puck, and it's held by Crosby DaCosta.
Now, for these Toronto Marlboros now finding themselves down 2-0 on this scoreboard, they simply need to step up and get way more opportunities on opposing goaltender Daniel Giusti. They've had good stretches of play here, especially in this second period, but nonetheless, they have nothing to show for it. And I'm looking at the big guys such as Catston to really step up here for these Marlboros, drive play offensively, get pucks on net, and finally get them on the scoreboard and within one in this hockey game.
Chada taking the face-off here for the Rebels in the offensive zone, coming to the right of Crosby DaCosta, and he's won it. Freeman down low and in behind the net. Freeman sends it up towards the line. Long shot, gloved and held by Crosby DaCosta.
Now, Ethan Chatta has stepped onto the ice here. A big-time player with so much skill, such great puck handling ability, so good at finding open space and so quick. Here he is taking the face-off, and let's see what he could do in building the offensive play here for the Mississauga Rebels.
Long stretch pass ahead, icing negated there. Joe goes to the front of the net. Lane sends it into the corner. Joe gets it behind the goal. Joe sends it to the side of the net, and that one-time shot was turned aside, and now it's going to be cleared all the way back. No icing here. Gabriel Smith out for it. Smith reversed it for Sabatini. Sabatini ahead for Joe. He's knocked down. And it's sent right back into the Marlboros end. Smith chasing after it. Comes to the opposite side. And Smith will get it and try to clear, but it was taken away. Marlboros will get it out again this time. And now Lane driving to the net. Here's Aiden Lane going wide. And he's turned back now to the side of the net. Turning and shooting there was Joe. Comes to the opposite side and a quick shot gloved and held. Daniel Giusti still perfect in this game.
The Mississauga Rebels are doing such a good job at clearing up that slot, playing so well defensively, and really preventing the Toronto Marlboros from getting any grade A opportunities. And as a result, their goaltender has been able to get so much help from these defensemen in front of him and has made the big saves when he's had to.
Puck cleared to the line, not out, but now it will be cleared out as it's carried ahead by Lynn. Lynn along the right wing. Lynn turns, holds, sends it out in front, and that shot was blocked. A great setup from Lynn. Maybe an odd man rush developing the other way, though. Here come the Marlboros. Centering pass, and that's stopped by Daniel Giusti on the 2-on-1 chance.
Daniel Giusti, have yourself some juice with this unbelievable performance. But that is the best opportunity that these Toronto Marlboros have had all period long, rushing in there on that 2-on-1. More chances like that is exactly how you're going to crack a goaltender like Daniel Giusti, who has been perfection all night long. They're going to need more plays like that, more chances like that, and these Toronto Marlboros could end up on the board sooner rather than later.
Scramble draw, one ahead by the Rebels, and now they've got a 3-on-1 through the neutral zone. And it's turned aside. Lynn going in behind the net now. Back behind the net with it, Lynn. Towards the point. Sent across, and that bounced away off the stick of Turner. Racing onto it is Joe. Joe can't hold the zone on the forecheck. Into the Marlboros end it comes. Smith, he's under pressure from Freeman. Marlboros stuck in their own zone for now. Sent back deep. Smith back for it. Here's Smith. Trying to start up on the rush, but he lost it again. Now Joe, he'll just send it off the glass and down. And that's going to go all the way down, and it's icing against Toronto.
And we'll return over into the Toronto Marlboros defensive zone, the Mississauga Rebels offensive zone, and let's see if they can extend this lead here. A fantastic team that's really been on their A game all night long, whereas the Toronto Marlboros have really struggled since early on in this hockey game. But now, with the puck in the offensive zone, they've put on a lot of pressure on opposing goaltender Crosby DaCosta, and let's see if they could triple up on their lead.
Sabatini sends that up the boards and out into the neutral zone. Carterman chasing in after it. He couldn't get a stick on it to get it deep into the zone. Witowski's in there for it. And now it's sent across by Sabatini. Deep into the Rebels' end once again. On the end boards, a collision down low. Maybe a chance out in front of the net here. Comes to the opposite side. Long shot. Centering pass right on. And it comes behind the goal again. Into the corner now. Out towards the point. Turning with it there. And now it's up towards the line. Quick shot. Didn't get through to the net, and it'll be cleared out here. And past Sabatini. A breakaway pass attempt there. Didn't get ahead to its intended target. Long stretch pass. Didn't work, and now it's sent ahead into the Marlboro zone. Puck to the blue line. Witowski couldn't hang on to it. Carterim, and he couldn't get through to it either. Over the line. Here come the Rebels. Sent towards the front of the net. Marlboros escape with it. And it's sent ahead here. Katzen in. Centering pass and couldn't get that one through. Marlboros back in their own zone with DiCarlo. Long stretch pass ahead, and there's a quick shot, and that's deflected away. On the other side, Joe. Through the neutral zone. Here's Moran. Dropped it back towards the line. Centering pass, and no one was there for that one. Into the corner now. Back behind the net. And it's chipped out towards the end boards. Turning back with it, here come the Marlboros. Through the neutral zone. A nice move to get through some checking here. As it's Aiden Lane. Lane carries it behind the goal. Lane still with it. Did a lap there, sends it across, and there's a long shot by DiCarlo. That's going to bounce up and out of play.
Once again, these Toronto Marlboros are firing a lot of shots from outside of the main slot of this net. Of this zone. Outside of the circles, they're firing a lot of shots from in and around the boards here, as these Mississauga Rebels have really prevented them from getting any chances closer to the net. They're going to need to find a way to penetrate that amazing defense, get chances in close, and that'll be huge for them in hopefully getting back into this hockey game.
Face-off coming here as Katzen wins it back, and there's a long shot that deflects up and out of play.
It's these Mississauga Rebels that are so strong defensively. They just once again are preventing the Toronto Marlboros from breaking in and getting any grade A chances whatsoever.
On the face-off, it's one back to the line and all the way down into the Marlboro zone. Good forecheck here, and it's turned over. Here's a chance for Lynn. Lynn centering pass, and it was fired just wide. Cleared to the line. And now it's out for the Marlboros. Long pass ahead, and that's just out of the reach of the intended target. And it'll be all the way down for an icing call against Toronto.
This could be nightmarish for these Toronto Marlboros after generating so many chances of their own, not really being able to get anything in close, but at the very least getting pucks on net. Now they're being sent back over into their defensive zone, and for the Mississauga Rebels, they'll be trying to get pucks on the net on their own in order to extend their lead even farther. This could be nightmare situation for these Marlboros.
But they'll escape the zone without a scratch here, chipped up onto the opposite side. Centering pass, and that the tip didn't go Now it's back behind the goal. Into the corner again. Marlboros cycle the puck around. Around to the opposite side. And that'll do it for this second period. So after 2, it's 2-0. The Mississauga Rebels over the Toronto Marlboros.
That period was all Rebels all the time. The Toronto Marlboros had their fair share of chances, but never really tested goaltender Daniel Giusti as much as you need to in a game like this. And now with only 1 period left to go, Daniel Giusti, I'm not going to say the word, but he's looked unbelievable so far in this hockey game, and it'll be up to these Mississauga Rebels to continue their amazing defensive play in order to help them out in maintaining this unbelievable performance tonight.
We'll be back for the third period after this short break. Jaden Ho for Jared Rotenberg. You're watching GTHL Hockey from the 6. Welcome back into Westwood Arena as we get you ready for some third period action. It's the Rebels 2, the Marlboros nothing. Jaden Ho with Jared Rotenberg. You're watching GTHL Hockey from the 6, and this will be a big third period.
Absolutely. These Mississauga Rebels have really stepped up their game since a sloppy part early on in the opening minutes. Since then, they have been impeccable, both on the offensive and mostly the defensive ends of this ice, preventing the Marlboros from really getting in close and getting any opportunities on their goaltender. They'll need to keep this up, as these Toronto Marlboros are one of the most skilled teams in the entirety of the GTHL, and if you give them opportunities, they have the skill and the talent to strike on it.
And that'll be up to Daniel Giusti to keep them from striking in this third period, to hold on to that 2-0 lead that the Rebels have built over the opening 2 frames.
It'll also be up to Crosby DaCosta to really make the necessary saves. These Mississauga Rebels have gotten a lot of opportunities, and Crosby DaCosta, while still playing very well, whenever the defense falters, he'll need to be relied on to make that big-time save in order to keep this game within arm's reach.
So we're just about ready to start this third period. The Marlboros on the left, the Rebels on the right, and it's going to be Kieran Witowski to take this opening face-off in the third period for the Marlboros. One back by the Rebels, chasing in after it is Martin. Martin chasing after his man Secco there, and it's down into the corner. Puck bouncing around, down to the corner once again. And now it's cleared out into the neutral zone. Ahead with it, here come the Rebels. Shot was blocked and it comes to the opposite side. Down below the goal line. Here come the Marlboros now. Tipped ahead and sent in deep there by Martin. Back behind the goal. Trying to dig it loose. Sent towards the line and out once again by the Rebels. Through the neutral zone they come, into the offensive end, sent in behind the goal. There's a chance at the side of the net, and that was deflected down into the corner. Through the neutral zone, here come the Marlboros, trying to get back into this game, and that shot gloved and held by Daniel Giusti.
It's these Toronto Marlboros that are once again, as they struggled with in the first and the second period, they're relying on sending a lot of shots from the top of the circle, from inopportune areas in this offensive zone. They need to find a way to break through these Mississauga Rebels, and quick, as they now only have 1 period left to get themselves not 1, but 2 goals in order to knot this thing up. They need to break through this defense, get more grade A opportunities on this goaltender, because as of now, they are making life way too easy for Daniel Giusti.
A little bit of a discussion going on once again with the scorer's box. Seems everything is in order. And we'll get the face-off and get back going here in the third period. Puck cleared to the line, but not out. Sent right back around into the offensive zone for the Marlboros. Back behind the goal with it. Sent up towards the blue line. Long shot. Didn't get through all the traffic. Opposite side now, Sabatini. Down low, Sabatini again with it. Sabatini sends it up top for Katzen, back down low. Puck loose to the side of the net, Joe couldn't jam it in, and now it's going to be cleared out. Through the neutral zone, come the Rebels. And on the forecheck there is Delisle. Delisle gave it away, and now the Marlboros will be back on the offensive. Puck turned over in the neutral zone. Lane in on the forecheck, but he couldn't hold his own. Chipped right back in. Marlboros are offside. They got to tag up, so a little bit of a respite for the Rebels blue liners. Up along the near side now. Lane tried to chip that ahead through the neutral zone. And now it's up on the near side. Back in behind the goal. Chipped out into the neutral zone, and the Rebels will fire it back into the offensive end. Puck carried up ahead into the neutral zone, into the offensive end for the Marlboros now. It's down into the corner. Digging for it there is Lane. Lane still trying to get it free, but it's pulled loose by the Rebels. And it's up along the near side now. Down low it goes. Chipped up and tipped into the offensive zone by the Rebels. Turning back with it here. Up along the boards by Martin. Puck chipped right on goal, and that'll be held onto. Daniel Giusti makes the save.
Now this will be a big time opportunity for these Toronto Marlboros getting set up here in this offensive zone, and they'll need to do good on this opportunity here. They have gotten their fair share of chances, but none of them grade A enough to beat Daniel Giusti when he's as dialed in as he's been all period long.
Marlboros pushing here, trying to get themselves back into this hockey game. Back up to the line, held in at the point. Battle for it in the corner. Moore trying to dig it free. Still trying to dig it loose. Rebels happy to kill time in their own zone. And they'll get possession of the puck. Delisle was looking for it. Turned over. Maybe a chance here in the offensive zone. And they couldn't get a stick on it. That was William Moore looking for that one. Now it's on the far side. Down into the corner it goes. Behind the net, centering pass! And that shot was turned aside. Good opportunity as the Rebels look to get that backbreaker. Back behind the net with his Deck. Deck, who had that glorious opportunity just moments ago, and he turns and shoots. Turned aside once again at the point, Miocic. And he couldn't keep it into the offensive zone. Rebels have to tag up. Marlboros trying to take advantage here. Through the neutral zone with speed. Chipped in deep. Back behind the goal, falling there. As now Lane will try and dig that puck loose. Rebels trying to escape with it here, and they will. Over the line into the offensive zone, and there's a shot gloved and held by Crosby DaCosta.
That was Curtis Freeman, who was incredibly open on that opportunity. He looked right, noticing his teammate carrying the puck into the zone, so he skated into the open area to crash the net. Unfortunately, didn't end up getting that shot off, and therefore wasn't able to make do on that opportunity. But regardless, some fantastic hockey IQ there, displayed by Curtis Freeman, knowing that all he had to do there was crash the goaltender, crash Crosby DaCosta's crease, knowing that good things were going to happen.
Marlboros win the draw, trying to clear their own zone. They can't do it. Back down into the corner now. They'll try the other side here. Backhanded up along the boards towards Turnbull, but he couldn't get possession. Big collision there down low in the Marlboros zone as there are two Marlboros defensemen converging on Lynn. In behind the goal towards Lynn, but now it comes back to the point. Long shot there, turned aside and cleared, but not out. Once again, held in by Lynn. Maybe a chance here for the Rebels. Lynn cutting into the middle. He shoots, and he missed the net. Smith up along the boards here. The Marlboros finally out of their zone. Maybe a chance. Centering pass! Turned aside. What a save, Daniel Giusti.
That has to be the best opportunity that these Toronto Marlboros have had all night long, coming in on that 2-on-1 opportunity there. But they just can't buy one past Daniel Giusti, who's playing unbelievably dialed in, as he has been all game and all period long especially. This goaltender's incredible, and they're going to need more chances like that if they want to crawl themselves back into this game with around 10 minutes left on the clock.
Scrambled draw, and it's cleared out by the Rebels. Racing back after it is Sabatini, and he's there in time to draw the icing call.
And after a fantastic opportunity moments ago, the Toronto Marlboros return to this offensive zone, looking dangerous, knowing that they need to do something here, as time just simply isn't on their side.
And they win the face-off, sent back to the line. In some trouble there was Sabatini, but he held the zone. Down low it goes. And it comes to the side of the net. It'll be grabbed and held by Daniel Giusti.
Daniel Giusti, again, not necessarily tested on that opportunity, but nonetheless we return to this zone for the Toronto Marlboros, who really are looking to continue this setup here. They've gotten a lot of grade A opportunities now. They've really picked up their play in the last few moments, but still nothing to show for it on this scoreboard.
Face-off one back to the line, but it slips out, and so the Marlboros will have to regroup in the neutral zone. Chipped up ahead, chasing after it here is Martin. Martin down low. Up to the point now. Held into the line. Long shot. Didn't get through to the net. Comes to the other side. Sabatini holds it in. Pinching deep. There's a pass to the side of the goal, and that quick shot just missed the net. A long shot from the point again. Once again, didn't get through to the net. Bouncing puck at the side of the goal. And it just trickles away to the corner. And it'll be cleared all the way down into the Marlboro zone. And that's icing against Mississauga.
And once again, back into the zone we go, but it's Daniel Giusti who can't be beat. He's coming up, saving the easy shots, but he's also stepping up big time on these 2-on-0 and 2-on-1 opportunities. He has been fantastic all night long and is a big part of the reason why these Mississauga Rebels now carry this 2-0 lead with under 10 minutes left to go.
Puck one down into the corner. Turning and shooting from the sharp angle, and that puck was loose to the side of the goal for a moment, but it'll be cleared out. Controlling in the neutral zone, Mijcevic. Cleared out once again and tipped in deep, no icing there. The Rebels will try and hang on to the puck in the offensive zone for as long as they can. Marlboros out with it now. Ahead, but they're turned back at their own blue line. Once again, it's carried ahead. This is Lane. Lane trying to drive wide, stripped of the puck, and it'll be cleared out once again. DiCarlo sends that in deep, and out to play it is Giusti. Giusti sends it around the boards. DiCarlo tried to fire that on, couldn't get it to the net. On the far side now. And the Rebels' diving play will clear the zone. Onto the far side. Sent ahead, tipped into the offensive end by the Marlboros, but it'll be cleared out just as quickly. Delelce. Fired into the offensive zone. Now on the near side, the Rebels get it out once again. Through the neutral zone. Here comes Lynn. Lynn lost control of the puck, and it'll be carried out by the Marlboros. Almost losing control there was Katzin, but he maintains possession. Ahead once again. Here comes Katzin, driving wide. Katzin carries it around the net. Katzin turning and sending it back down into the corner. Joe tried to center, out in front, and that puck just bounced off of the stick of Aiden Lane. Fired around the boards to Costa, out to play it. Marlboros running out of time, down by 2 here in the third. Losing control of the puck there was Witowski. Maybe a chance the other way. Here come the Rebels. Centering pass. And it just bounced away to the corner. The Rebels nearly had the dagger there. But now here come the Marlboros the other way. It's Martin. Martin dropped it off. Sent right back to Martin. And it bounces away from him. Up through the neutral zone. Fired ahead by Mijcevic. And this will be stopped and held. Crosby to Costa. Gets a whistle.
It's these Mississauga Rebels who have been fantastic all night long, but in the past few moments, it has simply been all Toronto Marlboros. They cannot afford to sit back here and let the Marlboros get their way back into this hockey game. They've been great all night long, but they're simply playing way too careless now, and with 8 minutes still to go on the clock, there is certainly time, and they cannot afford to sit back in these moments.
Puck sent up to the line, Filippone. His shot didn't get through, and now the Marlboros out with it, and puck touched up here, and this is going to be a penalty against Mississauga on the trip.
This is a crucial power play here for these Toronto Marlboros, who have really struggled to set up and get a lot of chances now. But as they've woken up moments ago, they're rewarded now with the man advantage, and this could be a game-changing power play if they can manage to get one here on this opportunity.
Marlboros on their second opportunity on the man advantage, unable to solve Juicy on their first one. Witowski will take the face-off, and he wins it back towards the line. Battle for it, and a big hit on the near boards. And the Marlboros will have to regroup at center. Carterman lost the puck, but he'll get it back right away. Down behind their own goal, the Marlboros will try to start up and get set on this power play. Aggressive forecheck here from the Rebels, but the Marlboros get in over the line. 2-on-1, maybe towards the front of the net. And the puck bounced away. Into the corner it goes. Now on the far side, and that's just out of the reach of Katzin. Over the line, the Marlboros trying to come back in again, and this is going to be another call against the Mississauga Rebels. So a late 5-on-3 power play opportunity and a glorious chance for the Marlboros to get themselves back into this game.
The Mississauga Rebels just cannot afford to be taking these careless penalties. With moments to go in this hockey game, they are up 2-0 on the scoreboard, but nonetheless, there is time here, and if they continue to play as careless as they have been in the final few moments, the Toronto Marlboros are still more than capable of getting their way back into the hockey game. They are one of the strongest teams in the entirety of the GTHL, and if you afford them these opportunities, they could strike.
Puck up top, here's Smith. Sends that down low. And now around the boards. Puck just slipped past Kieran Witowski there. And that's a big clear for the Rebels. Witowski starting up on the rush. He's going to carry it himself. Here's Witowski. And he drops it off now. Gets it right back. Sends it across for Smith. Smith across. Down into the corner. At the side of the net. Jamming at it. Puck still loose. And it's going to slip away to the opposite corner. Lane tried to send that up to the point, but nobody there to grab that pass. And it's all the way back down. Rebels, both teams making changes. Katzin carries it up through the neutral zone. Katzin across for Lane to the front of the net. And that just missed the goal. Far side. Towards the point now. Holding, shooting. That shot was deflected down to the corner. Down low once again. Back to the point. Another long shot, didn't get through. Bouncing puck in the slot, and it'll be cleared away by the Rebels. DaCosta out to play. He sends it ahead to DiCarlo. Here comes DiCarlo through the neutral zone. Lost the control of the puck for a moment. Now the Marlboros will have to turn back and reset. Turnball. Turnball sends it to the opposite side. In along the wing. Sharp angle shot. They score! The power play has struck, and it's gotten the Marlboros back into this hockey game.
And just like that, after a fantastic third period with opportunities left, right, and center, they are finally rewarded for their efforts. They finally find a way to get through Daniel Juicy. And now, with about 4 minutes left to go in this hockey game, it is a 2-1 game.
Joseph Carterin on that left wing rush, a sharp angle shot. He banks it in off the netminder, and it's a 1-goal game late in this third period. Buckle up for these last few minutes. Face off, won by the Marlboros. They'll try to press here. Chipped up the boards, and back with it are the Rebels. Up along the near side. Morin on the forecheck. Can't retain the zone. Chipped in deep by the Marlboros once again. Battle for it along the end boards. A collision. One player down in there trying to dig it free through that sea of bodies, and they'll get it loose. Sent to the line. Long shot didn't hit the net. Down into the corner it goes now. And Moore is in there after it. Sabatini can't hold the zone and is out into the neutral zone. The Rebels can't get it to the offensive end, though. Comes to the opposite side now. Here's Lane. Lane turns and shoots. That didn't hit the goal. Down low in the corner once again. Trying to turn free is Witowski. Witowski, he's under a lot of pressure. Couldn't get it to Lane. Marlboros get possession back. But only for a moment, as it's cleared right back out by the Rebels. Passed across. Marlboros trying to break out and get started here. Long stretch pass, and that's out of the reach of Turnball and down for an icing call against Toronto.
And this is a very fortunate bounce for the Mississauga Rebels, who really have not had any chances in the offensive zone in the last few moments of this hockey game. Well, now, based on a fortunate icing, they now are going to get the opportunity to get set up here in the offensive zone in the crucial final 3 minutes of this game. And they'll need to strike here in order to defend this lead and extend this lead, as these Toronto Marlboros are hot on their trails.
Marlboros won the draw, and it's around the boards for Lane. Lane chipped it out into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Turnbull, and now he'll get it into the offensive end, and it'll trickle right down onto Daniel Giusti, and he'll hang on to get the whistle.
These Mississauga Rebels once again sitting back and letting the Marlboros dictate play in this hockey game. They had a perfect opportunity to get set up in the offensive zone, but they simply lost it and now are going to have to return to their defensive zone once again, as these Mississauga Rebels have simply struggled on the defensive end all period long.
Witowski on the face-off, trying to get possession in the offensive zone. Tried to win it towards the front of the net, but it's turned over. Maybe an odd man rush developing here for the Rebels. In they come. 4-on-3. But it deflects to the corner. Marlboro's back in defense now. But the Rebels pick it up behind the net. Back to the line. Long shot gloved. And it'll be held by Crosby DaCosta as he turns aside Secco.
What a shot by Kyle Secco from that point, knowing that the Toronto Marlboros have stepped up big time defensively there, really blocking up the slot. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to break through there, so rather he decided to pick up the puck from the blue line and blast it on net. A fantastic shot from a fantastic defender.
Tissier played the puck to the corner, centering pass, and Chada just had that bounce over his stick. Up along the far side, the Rebels got it into the offensive zone, but only for a moment. They've turned back, and they'll just try to retain possession here as this puck bounced up and into the netting, and we get a whistle and a face-off.
This could be big-time hockey here in these final about 3 to 2 minutes here, folks. This game is still wide open, only a 2-1 hockey game, and if these Toronto Marlboros continue playing the way they're playing, and rather if the Mississauga Rebels continue sitting back and letting the Marlboros dictate play, they could find themselves in some big-time trouble here, as there's lots of time on the scoreboard.
Sent off the end boards in the Marlboros end. Up, and it's tipped through the neutral zone. Over the red line, and now over the blue line, there's a shot. Rebound! Loose in front of the net. But nobody was there for the Marlboros to jam it home. Covered and held by Daniel Giusti.
Daniel Giusti is doing his job here, and the Mississauga Rebels need to step up their game and help him get to victory. He's played like a fantastic goalie all night long, but they've simply let him down here in the last few minutes, allowing chance after chance on this goaltender. Still, he's found a way to hold strong.
Puck chipped up along the boards, knocked down, and sent into the Rebel zone by Deck. Up on the far side. Chipped out and down into the Marlboro zone again. Rebels content to sit back and clear their zone now as we're in the final 2 minutes of this hockey game. Lane. Chipped that up into the offensive zone. In behind the net after it is Carteret. Rings that down into the behind the goal. Now it's out front. Carteret with a shot. Stopped. Rebound. Loose behind the goal. Cleared out. And now the Marlboros will try and hold the zone here. Chipped out. Maybe a chance here. Net is empty. And it's fired wide. Marlboros dodge a bullet there as Deck looked like he had the open cage all for the taking. Turned over again in the neutral zone. Chada looking for the empty net here, and it bounced over his stick. Fired by Checo there, and he couldn't get it through to the net. Marlboros running out of time here. In they come to the offensive zone, and it's turned over once again. Chipped ahead, not out, held in there by Moore. Back behind the goal now. Along the near side, centering pass! And that just went right through the crease. Back behind the goal. Around behind the net. Moore tried to send that out in front. Loose puck still there. Diving out for it is Giusti, and he is going to hang on to keep this a 1-goal game. Marlboros with the net empty can't equalize yet.
Daniel Giusti, have yourself a night. What a fantastic sprawling save there with the puck bouncing right by that goal line. But his fantastic play has kept the Mississauga Rebels up 2-1.
And the Marlboros are going to call their timeout here. We're in the final minute, and they're just 1 goal down. Looking to tie the game they've been unable to solve, Daniel Giusti.
This has simply been a struggle-filled period for these Mississauga Rebels, and if they pull off this victory, they owe Daniel Giusti a steak dinner. He has been fantastic all night long. He's been unbelievable, and is a huge part in the reason why the Rebels have been able to hold on to this lead, even when their play has so drastically slipped as the minutes have ticked on.
Teams return to the face-off dot after that timeout. The Marlboros looking to find a way to equalize here. The Rebels trying to stay on top. Final few seconds of this period. We'll see what the Marlboros set up here. Their net is already empty. Crosby to Costa, gone to the bench for the extra attacker. And the face-off, won by the Rebels, cleared towards the empty goal. And that's not on target, and it'll be an icing call. So we'll get another chance to take that face-off.
Fortunate bounce from the Toronto Marlboros now, once again getting another opportunity to get set up here in this offensive zone. And let's see if they make do on this here. They've been playing unreal, but it's only a matter of time before they crack Daniel Giusti. And time just isn't on their side.
Scramble and draw, centering pass! And Giusti stepping out to get in front of that one. He'll hang on.
Daniel Giusti is having a fantastic game. Easily my pick for the star of the night. He's been unbelievable. He's been fantastic. And even when the defense in front of him has really lacked, it's been Daniel Giusti's amazing play that has remained consistent.
A bit of a discussion here with the officials and the Marlboros. Trying to take advantage of all the time they had to get their top guys that little bit of rest. You can see all the Marlboros in the slot as they'll try to win it there. Sent towards the front of the goal. Jamming at it, they are. And it's not going to go.
Daniel Giusti once again stands strong, stands tall, and makes the fantastic save.
And some extracurriculars going on here between the Marlboros and the Rebels after a heated game. Daniel Giusti, unsolvable for the Toronto Marlboros. And the Rebels take the 2-1 victory here at Westwood Arena.
The Mississauga Rebels have to be so fortunate for the amazing play by their goaltender, Daniel Giusti. They really struggled near the end, but nonetheless, their early lead and the fact that their goaltender was playing so strong allowed them to cruise and hold on to this 2-1 lead, whereas the Toronto Marlboros really stepped up in the third period after a struggle-filled first 2 periods, but it just wasn't enough to solve the incredible goaltending.
That's going to do it for our coverage of this game. Thank you for joining us. You've been watching GTHL Hockey from the 6. Jaden Ho for Jared Rotenberg. We hope to see you next time.